Pisces, what's good? How are y'all doing today or this evening or whenever you receive this reading? This is going to be a general love reading for Pisces. We are going to be looking at Pisces singles, Pisces who are in a relationship, and then we're going to summarize and end up in the reading. A little tongue tied right now, even though the reading had ended, it affected me greatly. I hope that everyone is okay and that my reading reaches you well. Take a moment right now to allow yourself to, focus in on your concern for the singles. We're going to start with the singles for all Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, the placement that is most important. Okay, so what's going on with Pisces singles as it pertains to love? 3 more shuffles. All right. Lovers at the bottom of the deck already. So starting off with the world. So it looks like you're in a place where everything is perfect for you. You have harmony and balance. Perhaps you closed out an important cycle in your life, but with the world card coming up, there is a major completion of some type of cycle that you are a part of. Maybe it was a karmic cycle. Whatever happened, you are in a state of perfect harmony and balance in your life, Pisces singles. 9 of Cups. So your wish coming true is what's crossing this reading, meaning that it's about time for you to look at what would be your emotional fulfillment when it comes to being in a relationship. But again, with this perfect harmony and balance, you are in a great position to actually call in what it is that you want underneath. You're kind of focused on your work, or perhaps you're focused on one specific person and looking at the value of one. Maybe you got your eye on one specific person. That's what I'm getting here with the 8 of Pentacles showing up. So underneath, you're pretty much concerned with working on something or focusing in on something. In the past, you had a lot of reason to celebrate, joyous experiences. Maybe there was a birth of a new meeting. Perhaps you met somebody at an event in the recent past, and now you're kind of like back to the drawing board of just like, I'm just gonna focus on me. Like that was a fun event. I'm gonna focus on myself right now. Like everything is quite fine for yourself. You're advancing forward, or perhaps you have ideas about whether or not things could work out with you and this person in terms of advancing forward. What's at the top is there is a concern of equal give and take as it comes towards some type of interaction with somebody and coming in. There are going to be nice little flirty messages. I think that whatever is going on right now with you and this person, it's very light and flirty is the word I was looking for between you and this person. Just very lighthearted messages going back and forth that are pretty sweet. Emotionally, you have your guard up. You need to chill. You need to chill. This is what I'm seeing right here. You have your guard up. But there's no need for you to have your guard up like you're catching feels. We see it right here with the Princess of Cups, Pisces. There's no need for you to be so guarded. More so, you can, yeah, let your guard down a little bit. Perhaps and when I say guard, I feel like maybe with the focus card of the 8 of Pentacles, you're looking at every single interaction and making sure, are they giving as much as I'm giving? Am I receiving as much as they receiving? Like, oh, they text me once, I'm going to text them once, and things like that. Like, you can loosen up a little bit. And in your environment, judgment, there's a new awareness that's coming through. Maybe this is a reconciliation that's going on, so that can also be reaffirmed through the 3 cups. You probably saw someone from your past and it was a joyous moment, a joyous experience or something. But with the judgment being in your emotional house, there is some type of reconciliation that's necessarily taking place, which is why everything seems so kind of like new in the beginning stages, and why the reading started off with the world card, because that's basically just saying that like you ended a harsh cycle. What you're hoping for is to be patient and for the fulfillment of the Lovers card, because temperance is the core of the Lovers card. It is the art, the fact that two different personalities, 2 identities can actually mix together and create art. Some type of love and interaction, some type of fulfillment that is divinely inspired. So you're kind of wanting to be patient. You're trying to control the pace of everything. You're hoping that you're not rushing this and that there's a perfect blend, that you two gel well pretty much together. And the outcome is the 10 of Pentacles. So singles, what's going on with y'all right now? Like, I see that you're focused on your work. This is what I'm getting. Multiple different things. So first off, for a group of y'all Y'all met somebody at an event. The event was lit. It was live with the Three of Cups. Y'all had fun, X, Y, and Z. You just close out a major cycle with the world card at the core. So you have this perfect harmony and balance and everything. So you can just, like, kind of move around freely. However, with the Nine of Cups here, this is talking about being fulfilled emotionally and being able to now seek forth someone who can not take away from that emotional fulfillment. Underneath in your subconscious with the Eight of Pentacles, it looks like you're definitely still focused on working on yourself and working on the things like feeding yourself, like feeding yourself, like in all the aspects, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, with the Eight of Pentacles right here. But with the Six of Pentacles at top, it shows that there's someone that's going to come in. That's going to require for you to actually balance out your work and love life. That's what the Six of Pentacles there, especially because with the Princess of Cups showing, there is a little bit of movement that's going on in your love life. With this person's very new, probably from this event, and while you're focusing on your stuff, now you're starting to have to exchange a little bit more of your time, which is like our most valuable asset in this world, our time, with someone else. And so you might be a little suspicious about this or guarded, like you have a strong spiritual base as to like whether or not you invest in somebody or not. But what this card also says in the seventh position is that like you can let your guards down. Like I don't, and I also just don't see or even sense anything here in terms of like something for you to be so guarded about. So just make sure that you're not super cocky. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't be so cocky about this. Like, you got this in the bag. Especially with judgment in the house. Like, be aware of how you're coming off to other people. Because if you're like being stingy, because with the Six of Pentacles coming up at the top, this may be a person that's requesting your time. And you're kind of like feeling stingy. Like, I'm only going to give them a little bit because all I'm focused on is my work and my coin. Because it kind of seems like that as well. Now, with judgment here, I'm gonna branch off to the second story. The second story that I was getting is that perhaps with the Three of Cups in the past, that there was a rebirth or like there was a second chance that was being offered, and it was a good interaction between you and this other person. And now, as a result of that, like you still have like subconsciously, you're gonna focus on your work, meaning that your whole identity isn't based off of like the fact that this reconciliation has taken place. Like you have something of value that you're like focused on. However, the focal point of this reconciliation is equal give and take, and so everything is quite light right here. You do not have to be acting so like cocky about the fact that you got this reconciliation, because it looks like you got what you want, especially with the Nine of Cups right there. And I do see that you hope that you two gel well, and that there is any type of imbalance that is occurring between y'all gets fixed out. So like a lot of patience and stuff like that. But ultimately, with the Ten of Pentacles as the outcome, it looks like this is going to be a very good relationship for you, single Pisces. Also, the Truth card is clarifying judgment. This is in the 11th house. This is how you're showing up. So you're showing up very much clear of thought, with a lot of insight in terms of what you want. And there's just like clear communication that is going on between the both of you. And then we have the Queen of Swords here clarifying temperance in terms of like the subconscious 12th house energy of like, what is this all about? So this is about you not feeling so cocky that you like have your guard all the way up, but it's okay for you to be like, you have the skill to discern, like exactly, what works for you and what doesn't work for you, especially with this clarifying temperance. So there's no need for you to like, this is like mask off. So it's like you can see through any type of mask, and that provides you with like the upper hand again, in terms of whether or not this reconciliation is worth it. And ultimately, at the end, don't self-sabotage. That's the ultimate advice clarifying the Ten of Pentacles. This Ten of Pentacles come long as you do not self-sabotage. Now, my mini 3-card reading, let's see what we have for you. We have the Sun card. So yes, this is which is coming true. This is you fully healing, full of vitality and life, like a new you here. Current situation, the King of Swords. So you're a little bit cold, a little bit like reserved, a little bit Pisces, which is kind of hard for me to believe, but like that's what's showing up. However, on the flip side, this can also mean because you know thyself, with the Sun card being there so strong and everything's just shining bright in this happy experience that you had in the past with the Three of Cups, which the Sun represents. The King of Swords is kind of like, yeah, I'm going to take control of the communication and the conversation, right? Taking so much command and control of the interactions between you and this other person. Apologize if I'm not looking directly at the screen. But then the outcome, we have the Five of Wands. So that means that there is going to be change. Like this is a challenge for you spiritually, because you had the Seven of Wands, but the Five of Wands right there, it means like healthy competition, where this healthy play, healthy flirt, and like looking at each other's differences and understanding how that looks. But there is going to be change for you spiritually in terms of how you view interacting with this person, especially because y'all reconciling. Sorry, my bad. That card wasn't supposed to come out. Excuse me. The Lovers is the card. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave that card out because apparently it was supposed to come out. I didn't expect that because that's not how I usually do the spread. But the Lovers is actually at the bottom of the deck, so this is probably a true love for you. And ultimately, we have the Knight of Cups. So it takes two to tango. We got the Princess of Cups and the Knight of Cups right here. So this is definitely an emotional interaction between you and this other person, single Pisces. All right, now let's get into Pisces who are in a relationship with somebody or who are loosely connected to somebody. All right. We got 7 shuffles. All right. So what we have is Six of Swords. So whatever happened in this situation with Pisces who are in a relationship or connected to someone romantically, what I'm seeing right here is that something happened where you decided to make peace and move forward. Like your whole focus, what you want to happen is, regardless of whatever rift this is, that y'all both are responsible enough to move forward towards like some type of peaceful resolution, some type of harmonizing energy, because six does represent like victory, but it is based off of like harmony that occurs. So you are looking for some type of like balance out of this situation, like where you can move forward or move away from it to calmer shores. Okay. What's crossing is the Ten of Cups. You're trying to see if you can get. You're questioning whether or not moving away because this is all you can get out of the situation, or moving away from this conflict that y'all had to establish emotional fulfillment towards something more emotionally suitable for both parties. Okay, what's underneath is the Five of Swords. That means that whoever finds the higher road, that's in the subconscious. You know that one of y'all has to pick the higher road. There's no winner in this conflict. This change was some type of defeat that occurred. But whoever, the lesson here is taking the higher road in the situation, finding a way to get to the Six of Swords, basically. All right. And then the past judgment, there was a sudden realization, there was a truth that had to be made in a certain situation. There was a realization, some type of revelation that happened, or that is something that is bound to come because this is past energy. So this is something that is about to pass by, or this is something that's in your this is like what is motivating you to feel like you need to get to a Six of Swords moment. You come to a realization that perhaps this person is your Ten of Cups, and the best thing that you can do in this situation is take the high road and try to advocate for y'all. Like take the high road, and whatever high road that is, that gets you to the Six of Swords, because that's your primary concern. Now at the top is the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is just saying your mind is as expansive as it can be, being that it's at being that it is crowned reading. So, being that the Eight of Swords is right there, your mind is as expansive as it should be, and that's good because you're trying to look at all the different types of ways that you can advocate for yourself and advocate for this relationship to get towards the Ten of Cups, because you have reached a realization with the Judgment card about how this conflict has actually come into full play, but also in terms of something about this relationship being is potential for the Ten of Cups. Now, what's coming in for you is the Ten of Pentacles. All right, so it looks like there will be with the Ten of Pentacles. This what is showing me with this coming in and it's not being in the outcome position. This is showing me that someone, perhaps you, need to take more responsibility in terms of helping co-create this foundation for a sustaining like family future or some type of network like that. You right now are in the Five of Cups energy and emotion, so we got two fives out. But the lesson here is for you to let go of that grief and that sorrow and be more in alignment with forgiveness. So but also focus on healing yourself. Like, do not guilt yourself. Do not get stuck in the shoulda, woulda, couldas. It happened. The separation happened. The argument happened. The conflict happened. Period. Now you need to shift yourself to realizing I'm not a bad person. This was something we both chose. Yes, pain hurts, but invoke prayers for change, not for stagnancy, not for returning to the past. Realizing those two of cups that still exist there. Look at the optimism there as well, but let go of the self-blame and the defeatist mentality. And you can also be patient as well, because part of you want to be free from this guilt and this shame and this pain and this period of pain, but the only way to get through it is to go through it, you know. And what we have in your emotional house is that you're feeling inspired to take action in this new type of communication. Perhaps there's a lot of communication between both of y'all. This is the Knight of Swords, so there's a lot of taking action towards trying to communicate with each other, and you perhaps need to take a break from that, because if you're sitting here in the Five of Cups energy, why are you steadily communicating with them when you really could be like and also the burden of the fact that this is a family, that there are responsibilities within this family and this foundation and this structure. Perhaps doing all this communication, and the Prince of Swords is pointing to the Five of Swords. So in your subconscious, you know that you need to make sure you take the higher road. And at the Prince of Swords, you're just like busy right now. You're like really busybody, just dipping and diving around emotionally, like running through all these different thoughts. Like, you're very busy in your mind, just thinking a lot, or even communicate a lot. But your hopes and fears is the Eight of Cups. You're looking for some type of deeper emotional connection, something that, like, is more fulfilling for you, actually. You're also looking to move ahead and leave this whole problem behind you. So whatever happened, and now that goes back to the Ten of Cups, especially with the core card being the Six of Swords, with the Ten of Cups being there, and the Eight of Cups being in your hopes and fears, and you're sitting here with the Five of Cups, you're hoping to leave this situation to go to something more fulfilling, because you realize that you got your Ten of Cups out of the situation. That can be the same thing with the Judgment card. It looks like, now that I think about it even more, with Pisces, this looks like you might be walking away from something and trying to figure out how to this might be a divorce, the Ten of Pentacles right here, because you may be trying to figure out how to split up finances and split up like our resources in a way that's like amicable to both parties. And the outcome, we have the Four of Cups. Okay, perhaps it's a missed opportunity, but also I do sense that through whatever you do, one way it could be a missed opportunity by walking away. But I don't think that this is the missed opportunity for you. I think that what you're going to find is your emotional stability, because you're hoping that the decision that you make with the Eight of Cups is going to bring you to a more fulfilling reality, or experience when it comes to love. And with the Four of Cups is talking about reestablishing emotional stability. So the way through this conflict, the way through this, because this is about Six of Swords, moving on, leaving the past in the past, leaving whatever conflict it was in the past. With the Ten of Cups being there, i.e., talking about this may be the culmination of whatever, like, this may be the culmination, or reminding you that, like, your emotional bliss is here with this person or whatever. Maybe you're full of the situation. You're not going to get any deeper than you could have emotionally. And it's time for you to take a break from it, to release your guilt, and realize you did all that you can do. That could be the Judgment card, realizing you did all that you can do. That's the Eight of Swords above, realizing you did all that you could do. And with this Ten of Pentacles, it's like, it's time for me to separate from this family. It's time for me to separate from this partnership or whatever, and, set up a new emotion for the purposes of creating emotional stability for myself. Now, what's clarifying the Prince of Swords is the Four of Swords. So so in the 11th house, it looks like you need a mental break. You need to meditate and get a little bit more clarity, is what I'm seeing there. And then in the 12th house, we have Eight of Pentacles. So focus it, and that's Eight of Pentacles on top of the Eight of Cups. The problem that is occurring here in this dynamic with this partnership with the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles right here is that you're not feeling emotionally fulfilled with the type of work that you have to put in to sustain this type of partnership. You don't feel fulfilled with the type of work that you have to put in to sustain this partnership. And yeah, this is manifestation energy, 8-8. And the outcome, 10 of Swords. This is what we have overall. Like, now we have 3 tens in the reading. So this has instantaneously happened for you, Pisces, where this is something that you're just done with. And now I see another aspect of coming out with the 6 of Swords. You're trying to move on from this because you got all that you could get out of it. 3 card reading. You have 3 of Wands. Yeah, being patient to move towards somewhere else. You have the King of Swords. You're very cut off. Like you're taking control of the situation by actually you know that you need to communicate where you need to go. Like maybe the communication already happened, but like at the bottom we have the Queen of Swords. So we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So we have a 3 of Wands, King of Swords, Queen of Swords, High Priestess. Trust your intuition on this. And that collaborates or corroborates with 3 of Wands, which is past energy.